Greetings. How y'all doing today? Sunny citations. As we say, Sa'abuna. Okay, so I just talked about Breonna Taylor's case. And I go into how many of us felt that it wasn't going to be, to us, true justice. Now, the fact that she's physically dead, we can't bring that back, right? However, there's something very unique that is going on. I mean, this has been going on for a while. I've been following people who project this world to us. I want you to think about this world, right? We all work, right? We are made to work. We are made to work for a construct, a paradigm, a land of role playing, basically, in psychology, right? And then there are people who decide what everything costs in this world that is actually free. And billions of people agree in this indoctrination, applications, implications, manipulation, persuasions, and influences into a system. No matter where you go, the system is implicated, right? You could go to Africa, same system. China, same system. Anywhere in the known world, it's the same system. Now, you have to ask yourself, what is behind the system? Well, for many of y'all just think of a force. But that's not where the force gets its power from. Okay? The force for many people will be the subject of white supremacy. But is that really true? Because before white people came into this earth as white people, because they couldn't be AKA white people when they was Homo erectus. They considered themselves white people when they became Homo sapiens. Okay, so that falls into the Charles Darwin theory and the evolution and all of that, right? So they believe they evolved out of primates. We never thought that. So we can't think the way they think and the thoughts that they feel and how they maneuver. We can't do that. And we should never do that. And we are trying to do that. And it's not working for us because we on another vibrational level than they are. And they know that. That's why it's a contending force between us and them. They know that. Right? We know a lot of things, but we try to be in denial and hide it. You know why? Because I'm going to be honest. A lot of people try to run into these, especially melanated people, try to regurgitate something that's been in the past. You can't do that. And you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't go that route. And I'm talking about traditional spirituality. Now, to study it for theoretical purposes to understand what is actually going on, that's not a bad idea. Go ahead and rock it. However, what we're not looking at is the power behind the force, which is a spirit. but it's an imposter spirit. It's a spirit that transcends all of us. It goes to our lower emotions, that if we vibrating on a lower level, which many of us, especially us in blacks, we already know of the Yorugas. We know of the white people. Okay, so we don't have to talk about that. Let's focus on us. Okay, we don't need to focus on them right now. They want our attention, and every time they get our attention, we become desensitized to ourselves. I want you to realize that. So that's what the imposter spirit does. The power behind the force that they have. They are powerless, but they have a force. You understand? If you ever read the book Power versus Force, you might understand what I'm saying. Sometimes force needs to be implemented, sometimes power needs to be implemented. But there's a difference, you know, and the power behind it actually, to be honest, is of such a high level that we don't even understand it. It's like looking at nature, right? People talk about why God created death, this and that, and so forth like that. That'll be like a power symbol, okay? And we'll look at, oh, if there was a God, why we have to go through what we're going through. That's a power symbol, right? Now, if the book says we are the emulation of the Creator, so don't we have power? Okay. So only a few people, known as the 1%ers, are considered to have power. Everybody else got a force, or what they like to say, empowerment. So what do they do to their subjects? They force them in many different ways. Because why? They learn from an imposter spirit, people. You shadow boxing against something that you don't even see because it's influenced you at the same time. It's the famous protagonist and antagonist theory. It's the contending forces. We are, oh, this is a black, or this is white. That's a force. But black nor white is looking at the imposter force that got them to the way that they believe. White people believe that there's nothing wrong with their judgment. It's a cause and effect. There's nothing you can do to alter that type of mindset. They have a mindset. It's literally, they do nothing wrong at all. So you can't project your ways into their ways, although they try to force us into their ways. Now we have to make a decision. Who we going to go with? Are we going to maintain our ancestors, quote unquote? But our ancestors was already jacked up before the Yorugas came. So what are we going to do? We have to look within ourselves. We have to ask the very important questions. Do I have free will? Stop trying to put it on somebody else. Do you have free will? That's called self-responsibility. Self-realization, knowing thyself. Do you have it or do you not? And if you don't have it, then just tell the truth. I don't have free will. I don't have self-responsibility. I don't have self-accountability. For I don't know myself. I don't know who I am. Well, then just say that and stop blaming people for the things that we can make better amongst ourselves. They're going to do what they're going to do. It's like a damn poisonous snake. It's going to always be poison. If you come by, it's going to bite you. Or you walk by an alligator, it's going to try to eat you. You know, these things are predators, and, you know, people will they'll show you how they manipulating predators. But one day they're going to kill them because they are predator. Okay, that's their nature. So we have to understand that certain people's nature, okay, is the way it is. And our nature is different than theirs. So our nature is this. This is how I know this is an imposter spirit amongst us. Right? You got all these people, they getting all into Yoruba and all that, to call in the Ushas and all of that. And I'm looking at the people, I'm like, my man, my lady, you don't think our ancestors was actually way better than what y'all doing? And that practices of science? Yeah, they were way better. And what happened to them? You see, those are the truths that people don't want to understand. So what are they doing to us? They're making us retrograde, backwards, when we should be going forward. See, this is when you think about your past too much. And when you think about your past too much, guess what you do? You bring amongst those haunted spirits. And they become the imposter spirits. They become the one that wants you to do bad so you can maintain a blaming game and don't realize you have the free will. It's like today. If I don't want to make money and go to work, I just don't go to work. But whose fault is that? That's mine. So if we live in a neighborhood and we up there shooting guns all the time at each other, and kids can't even walk out, why? Because we're shooting at each other, right? And no, don't give me this black face, white people putting on black face stains and all that. No, don't give me that, please. I'm from the hood, so I already know black people get it in, period. All right? Or they wouldn't be in jail. I mean, we in jail because why? The imposter spirit got the white people believing that we are imposters and we are a threat to them. So they think on such a lower vibration that they feel that what they're doing is correct. So they don't even see us as dumb. They see us as something else. So shit, if they feel that way, well, let the shoe wear the foot, right? Put it up, shit. So we do the same thing. That's it. Neutralize the situation. That's all you're doing. You're neutralizing it. You're like, okay, let's bring back the sewing. Let's bring back tailors. Let's bring back sewing our own clothes. Yeah, okay, we gonna buy the fabric from y'all, no problem. But let us sew our own clothes, make our own drawers, things like that. Shit, we need a toilet company. Let's get our own shit. Like, okay, oh, the Black Wall Street, the Rosewoods, the this and that. I don't want to hear none of that. Okay, learn how to put, as y'all do, positive, right? Learn how to put positive things into the atmosphere and it will eventually show up. However, we lost touch in that form of reality. We lost touch. Why is it that The biggest thing we know we need to do, we're not doing it. We're making excuses. The biggest three things we need to do, and I tell people about this. One is knowledge of self, knowing thyself. The other one is love, loving yourself and loving the reflection of yourself, which is somebody that looks like the reflection of you. And third is being detached from this system. Be in it, but be not of it. Detach yourself from it and do your thing and stop worrying about what they're doing. Do our thing. You understand? Because they're going to do what they're going to do. So what? Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell y'all this. There's an imposter spirit. It's very wicked and evil. And it's forcing us to go ahead and kill because it don't want the white people, this spirit. It wants black people. That's why white people came, to help it get black spirits.